In today's whirlwind of productivity hacks and time management tools, we're constantly searching for the next best thing to make us more efficient, more productive. Yet how often do we find ourselves overwhelmed, our to-do lists ever growing, and our stress levels soaring? Here's a provocative thought. What if the secret to achieving more with less stress doesn't lie in modern technology or the latest productivity trends, but rather in ancient wisdom? Stoicism, a philosophy that has guided some of history's greatest minds, offers us a radically different perspective on time and how we use it. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, once said, "This simple yet profound principle can transform the way we approach our daily lives and our never-ending quest for productivity." So I challenge you, are you ready to explore how Stoic wisdom can help you master your time, reduce your stress, and lead a more fulfilling life? Join me on this journey, and I promise you will emerge transformed with a newfound approach to time management that is as effective as it is serene. Part 1. Understanding our time. In the relentless pursuit of productivity, our society has become synonymous with the very essence of busyness. From sunrise to sunset, we're bombarded with notifications, meetings, and deadlines, leaving us in a perpetual state of stress and time scarcity. This modern dilemma begs the question, is there a better way? Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that teaches the art of living in harmony with reason, offers a compelling answer. It teaches us to focus on what truly matters, shedding the unnecessary and embracing tranquility in the face of chaos. Our journey towards mastering time through Stoicism begins with understanding our relationship with time itself. Unlike the endless pursuit of more hours in the day, Stoicism invites us to see time as a space for meaningful action, not just activity. By distinguishing between what is within our control and what isn't, Stoicism provides a framework for living intentionally and making the most of every moment. As we embark on this journey, we must first confront the modern dilemma, the illusion that being perpetually busy equates to being productive and successful. Stoicism challenges this notion, proposing instead a life of purpose, where success is measured not by the quantity of tasks completed, but by the quality of actions taken. This perspective shift is our call to adventure, urging us to explore the depths of our own perceptions of time and productivity. Stoicism, with its rich history and timeless principles, serves as our guide on this quest. It teaches us that true mastery of time is not about managing every second, but about aligning our actions with our values. By focusing on what truly matters, we can navigate the complexities of modern life with grace and wisdom. The Stoic path to time mastery is both a challenge and an invitation, an opportunity to redefine our relationship with time and discover a more fulfilling way of living. As we delve deeper into Stoic principles, we'll learn to embrace the present, let go of the unnecessary, and ultimately achieve more with less stress. This journey is not just about managing our time, but about transforming our lives. Part 2. Stoic principles for time mastery. As we delve into the heart of Stoicism, we encounter its core principles, which serve as a beacon for mastering time and navigating life's tumultuous seas with poise. At the forefront of these teachings is the dichotomy of control, a fundamental concept urging us to discern between what is within our power and what lies beyond it. Embracing this principle can liberate us from the shackles of frustration and fruitless endeavors, steering our focus towards actions and thoughts that truly reflect our agency. Another cornerstone of Stoic wisdom is the emphasis on living according to nature, or in alignment with our true selves and the world around us. This harmonious existence encourages us to prioritize tasks and commitments that resonate with our core values, fostering a life of purpose and meaning. By applying this principle, we learn to sift through the noise of societal expectations and concentrate on what genuinely matters to us, thereby enhancing our productivity and inner peace. The Stoics also teach us about the value of present moment awareness. In a world where future anxieties and past regrets often hijack our attention, Stoicism reminds us that the present is the only domain where we can act and influence outcomes. This mindfulness towards the present moment sharpens our focus, improves our decision-making, and enables us to use our time more effectively. To integrate these Stoic principles into our daily lives, we must start by reflecting on our routines and identifying areas where we can apply the dichotomy of control. This could mean setting more realistic goals, adjusting our reactions to unforeseen challenges, or learning to let go of what we cannot change. Incorporating living according to nature involves evaluating our tasks and commitments to ensure they align with our personal values and contribute to our overall well-being. Lastly, cultivating present moment awareness can be as simple as practicing mindfulness throughout the day, whether it's during mundane tasks or when making important decisions. Practical applications of Stoic principles can manifest in various ways, such as adopting a minimalist approach to possessions and commitments, practicing gratitude to appreciate what we have, and engaging in daily reflections to assess our progress and align our actions with our values. These practices not only enhance our time management skills, but also contribute to a more serene and fulfilling life. In embracing Stoicism, we find not just strategies for better time management, but a philosophical guide for living wisely and well. The transformation it offers is profound, impacting not only how we navigate our days, but also how we perceive our place in the world. As we continue on this journey, let us reflect on how these ancient principles can illuminate our path to achieving more with less stress, guiding us toward a life of purpose, tranquility, and effectiveness. Part 3. Implementing Stoic practices. Crossing the threshold into a life enriched by Stoic practices involves integrating daily routines that ground us in the philosophy's core principles. These practices are not just exercises in self-discipline, but pathways to transforming our relationship with time and stress. One of the most impactful Stoic practices is the morning reflection. Before the day begins, take a moment to contemplate your intentions. Ask yourself what virtues you want to embody and what challenges you might face. This sets a purposeful tone for the day, focusing your efforts on what truly matters and preparing you for potential obstacles. Evening reflection complements this by offering a chance to review the day's events. Consider what went well, what could have been improved, and how you aligned with Stoic principles. This practice fosters a mindset of continuous learning and gratitude, crucial for personal growth and time mastery. Another Stoic exercise is the visualization of challenges, known as premeditatio malorum. By anticipating potential difficulties and imagining how you might respond, you build resilience and flexibility. This mental rehearsal reduces anxiety and equips you with strategies to navigate the unexpected, ensuring that your time is used effectively even under pressure. Journaling is also a valuable tool in the Stoic arsenal. It allows for deeper reflection on your thoughts, emotions, and actions, providing clarity and insight. Writing about your experiences helps in distilling the lessons learned and in planning future actions that are in harmony with Stoic teachings. Implementing these practices requires patience and perseverance. Initial efforts might be met with resistance, both from within and from the habits entrenched in our daily lives. However, the key to overcoming these obstacles lies in consistent application and the willingness to view every challenge as an opportunity for growth. Overcoming obstacles on this journey often involves reassessing our priorities and commitments. It may require saying no to distractions that do not align with our values or delegating tasks that others can perform. Embracing Stoicism means accepting that we cannot control everything, but can always control our responses. This realization is empowering, freeing us from the tyranny of trying to manage every aspect of our lives and instead focusing on what truly contributes to our well-being and effectiveness. Personal stories of individuals who have embraced Stoic practices offer tangible proof of their transformative power. Consider the tale of a busy professional who reclaimed hours of lost time each week through morning reflections, prioritizing tasks that aligned with personal and professional goals. Or the story of a student who overcame overwhelming stress by practicing evening reflections and gratitude, leading to improved focus and academic performance. These practices, grounded in Stoicism, provide a framework for not just surviving, but thriving in the modern world. They teach us to cherish our time, to approach life with intention and wisdom, and to embrace the challenges that come our way as opportunities for growth and learning. Part 4. Embracing challenges as opportunities. Embarking on a Stoic journey transforms our perspective on adversity, framing challenges not as obstacles to our productivity, but as opportunities for growth and self-improvement. This part of our journey underscores the Stoic belief that it's not what happens to us, but how we respond, that defines our character and effectiveness. One profound lesson Stoicism teaches us is the concept of amor fati, or love of fate. This principle encourages us to embrace whatever life throws at us with acceptance and enthusiasm rather than resistance. By adopting this mindset, we can turn every challenge into a chance to practice virtues like patience, resilience, and courage. This approach not only enhances our ability to navigate difficult situations, but also allows us to use our time wisely, focusing on actions that align with our values and goals. Practical wisdom, another key Stoic virtue, is our guiding light in applying these principles to real-life challenges. It involves making decisions based on reason, virtue, and the information at hand, ensuring that our actions contribute to the common good. This wisdom is crucial when we face trials, helping us to discern the most effective and ethical way forward, maximizing our productivity and maintaining our peace of mind. Engagement with our community plays a significant role in this phase of the journey. Sharing our experiences and challenges not only fosters a sense of connection and support, but also provides us with different perspectives on handling adversity. This communal exchange enriches our understanding of Stoic principles, making us more resilient and adaptive in the face of challenges. As we navigate through trials, it's essential to remember that triumph is not about avoiding failure, but about how we recover and learn from it. Each setback is a lesson in disguise, offering insights into our strengths and weaknesses and highlighting areas for improvement. This process of continuous learning and adaptation is what truly enhances our productivity and fulfillment, ensuring that we grow wiser and more capable with each challenge we face. In embracing challenges as opportunities, we undergo a transformation that impacts not only our professional lives, but our personal growth as well. This Stoic journey equips us with the tools to face life's uncertainties with confidence, turning adversity into an ally in our quest for time mastery and personal excellence. Part 5. Achieving Time Mastery. As we conclude our journey through the Stoic philosophy of time mastery, we stand at the threshold of a profound transformation. Embracing Stoicism has not merely taught us to manage our time more efficiently, it has reshaped our very approach to life, guiding us towards an existence marked by purpose, tranquility, and resilience. The elixir we return with from this philosophical odyssey is multifaceted. It embodies the serenity that comes from focusing only on what we can control, the fulfillment found in living according to our deepest values, and the strength to face life's inevitable challenges with courage and grace. This Stoic approach to time management transcends mere productivity techniques. It is a way of life that promises a more harmonious existence. Our transformation is both internal and external. Internally, we've learned to cultivate a mindset that values presence over busyness, quality over quantity, and reflection over reaction. Externally, our actions begin to reflect our new values, leading to more meaningful accomplishments and a more balanced life. The practices of morning and evening reflections, visualization of challenges, and journaling have become tools not just for managing our time, but for navigating life's complexities. This journey doesn't end here. The principles of Stoicism are not one-time lessons, but lifelong companions. As we move forward, we carry with us the wisdom to distinguish between the essential and the extraneous, the courage to face adversity with equanimity, and the insight to align our actions with our highest ideals. Our call to action is clear. Let us step into our daily lives armed with the Stoic wisdom we've embraced, ready to apply these timeless principles to our modern challenges. Whether it's in the realm of work, personal growth, or relationships, the Stoic approach to time mastery empowers us to live more fully, with less stress and greater impact. As we share our journey with others, we extend an invitation to join us in this transformative path. The Stoic community grows stronger with each individual who embraces its teachings, offering support, inspiration, and camaraderie as we all strive to live our best lives. In the spirit of Stoicism, let us move forward with gratitude for the lessons learned, enthusiasm for the challenges ahead, and the wisdom to navigate the journey with grace. The mastery of time, as taught by the Stoics, is not merely a skill to be acquired, but a gift to be lived. Wrap up and forward look. As we wrap up our exploration of time mastery through Stoicism, it's clear that the journey we've embarked upon is not just about managing our schedules more effectively, it's about transforming our lives. Stoicism, with its deep roots in ancient philosophy, offers us a powerful framework for living with intention, resilience, and serenity in the face of modern chaos. We've traversed the Stoic principles from understanding the dichotomy of control to embracing challenges as opportunities for growth. These teachings have illuminated the path toward not just achieving more with less stress, but also finding deeper fulfillment in our daily endeavors. By integrating practices such as morning reflections, visualization of challenges, and evening reviews into our routines, we equip ourselves with the tools to navigate life's complexities with wisdom and grace. The Stoic journey toward time mastery is a continuous one, filled with learning, growth and self-discovery. It challenges us to reflect on our values, prioritize our actions, and embrace the present moment with gratitude and mindfulness. As we move forward, let us carry the insights and practices we've learned into every aspect of our lives, transforming not only how we manage our time, but also how we perceive our place in the world. I encourage you to keep exploring Stoicism and its applications in your own life. Share your experiences and insights with others, fostering a community of like-minded individuals committed to personal growth and time mastery. Remember, the true essence of Stoicism lies in its practice, in the daily choices we make, and in our relentless pursuit of a life well lived. Thank you for joining me on this journey. May the principles of Stoicism guide you toward a more peaceful, productive, and purposeful existence. Let us continue to support one another, sharing our triumphs and challenges as we strive to master our time and embrace the wisdom of the Stoics.